Would you rather be debt-free or invest in commercial real estate? So what I mean by that is, would you rather be debt-free and owe no one anything, or would you rather borrow money from a bank and invest in commercial real estate? Which is best, debt-free or commercial real estate investing? That's what today's video is on. Let's get started. All right, let's start here. What are the advantages of being debt-free, and what are the advantages of investing in commercial real estate? All right, so being debt-free means you owe nothing. That's a great feeling. You owe no one anything. And because of that, your cost of living expenses are reduced, right? And it produces less stress. Let's face it, when you get a loan on anything, that gives you added responsibility to pay whatever loan that is, right? To pay it off. And that creates stress. Next, you have the ability to save because your cost of living expenses are reduced. And when you save money, you can seize on opportunities. So it's great being debt-free. Now, let's look at the advantages of investing in commercial real estate. Number one is you can borrow money from the bank, right? So when you invest in commercial real estate, most likely the bank's going to pay for 3/4 of the property, right? 75% of it, and you're going to pay 25%. That means your money is at work. You're leveraging the bank's money to buy the property. I will give you a great example soon of how that works. And then what you're doing is you're creating wealth. What type of wealth? Well, when you buy an apartment building, the tenants are paying the rent, paying rent and paying your expenses, paying your mortgage. You're pocketing cash flow, and every month that you pay the mortgage, you're making the loan lower, and you're creating equity in the property, right? So you're creating wealth. Next is, people don't talk about this a lot, but one of the greatest benefits of commercial real estate investing are the tax write-offs. You do it right, every year you will pay minimal taxes, if not any, if you do it right, okay? And then lastly, you're going to be able to create massive growth over time. I am not a person that's going to say you're going to get rich in 1 or 2 years in commercial. It takes years to get really rich with commercial. So you're going to be able to develop or create massive growth in your income and equity over time. All right? Okay, well, this is a commercial real estate investing channel. So what I want to do now is I want to share with you, I want to compare debt-free investing to commercial real estate investing. Let's do that next. All right, here I want to discuss with you debt-free investing versus commercial real estate investing. All right, so I have here two scenarios. So we're going to buy one property for $400,000, and we're going to pay all cash. It's 100% owned, right? Then here we still have the same $400,000, but we're going to buy 4 properties by leveraging with 25% down. Okay, so same property. We're buying one property here for $400,000. We're buying 4 properties here with the same $400,000. Got it? Okay. All right. So the person over here who wants to remain debt-free, they paid all cash, right? They paid $400,000 and bought a 5-unit. And their cash flow is about $2,000 a month. So when you buy a property all cash and there's no mortgage, cash flow is basically your income minus your expenses. And whatever's left over, that's your cash flow. All right? Now, over 15 years, I want to have a long-term outlook, right? Let's be conservative here. Over a decade and a half, over 15 years, let's say the property is now worth $700,000. You bought it for $400,000, and after a decade and a half, it's worth $700,000. Being conservative, right? So now you have $700,000 in equity. This is now your net worth, $700,000 in equity. Okay, so that's buying one property and owning it 100% by paying all cash and being debt free. Now let me share with you how to do it, how our students do it, and how we teach to do commercial real estate by using leverage. All right. So again, we're gonna take the same $400,000 and we're gonna apply a 25% down payment, which is $100,000, and we're gonna buy 4 properties. We're gonna buy 4 5-unit properties. Okay. So we have 1 property here. We have 4 properties here by leveraging. All right. So now our portfolio value is now $1.6 million, right? Because we bought a $400,000 property, but we bought it 4 times. So 400,000 times 4 is $1.6 million property. Same equity, okay? $400,000 equity here, $400,000 equity here. Same equity, except the portfolio value is $1.6 million here because we leveraged. Now, the same as over here, 15 years. So over 15 years, we paid down the mortgage, by, let's say by 1/2, right? So we purchased it for $400,000. We put down $100,000. That means we owe $300,000. Over the next 15 years, we paid off half of the $300,000. So now we owe $150,000, right? Okay. So over 15 years, we reduced the mortgage balance by 50%, and now each of the properties are worth $700,000, just like over here, right? So if they're worth $700,000 and you owe $150,000, that means you have equity of $550,000, right? Okay. So we have equity of $550,000, and we have 4 properties. That means our equity now is $2.2 million. You got it? 2.2. Equity over here, $700,000 over 15 years. Is $2.2 million in equity, right? Right here. This is now your net worth, $2.2 million as opposed to $700,000. Big difference, right? Now, here is one of our favorite extra strategies that we teach our students. Number one is we like to do cash out refi, right? So basically, when you refinance your single family home, right, it's worth this much, you owe this much, you can borrow 75% of this amount. Same thing with commercial, all right? So if the properties are worth $2.2 million, we can borrow 75% of that, pay off the mortgages, and we'll be able to cash out and pull out $1.5 million, okay? And guess what? It's tax-free, okay? Tax-free until you sell the property, but it is tax-free the moment you put the money in your pocket, right? Okay, now let's talk about choices, okay? What choices can you make as a result of investing debt-free or investing with leverage? So the choices are here, not many, right? Because your desire is to remain debt-free. Can you retire? I don't know, with cash flow maybe $3,000 now after 15 years. Can you retire at $3,000? Probably not. I don't know. It's up to you. Now, when you want to pass this down to your kids, right? What are you teaching them, right? Over here, you're teaching them how to fish. You're going to teach them. You're going to give it to your kids and teach them how to fish. Over here, you're giving them fish, right? They're not learning anything from this except to be debt free. They're not learning about how to invest, how to run the numbers, how to get a loan, how to be responsible property owners and be good stewards. You're not teaching them that here. And lastly, how many legal tax loopholes do you have over here? Not many, okay? Because it's just debt free. Now, let's look at the choices over here with the leverage scenario. So now you have $1.5 million in your pocket. You can use the $1.5 million to buy more property, right? You can do that, right? To, increase your portfolio. Or you can use $1.5 million to retire and give the property to your kids, right? You're teaching them how to fish as opposed to giving them fish over here. Got it? Big difference. If your goal is to pass down a legacy to your kids, in my opinion, this is the best way to go. This is what I'm doing with my family, okay? All right, and the big thing here is the tax advantages, the huge tax advantages, the legal tax loopholes are made for this side, not this side, this side, okay? I have a video called the benefits, tax benefits of commercial real estate investing. The link will appear on the screen. You can watch it. You can see the humongous tax benefits of investing just like this. Okay, got it? Big difference, right? 100% owned, 25% owned, but you're buying 4 properties. All right? Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to close this video out by giving you just a few comparisons between being debt-free and using debt to buy commercial real estate. So let's wrap it up. All right, everyone, let's wrap up here on being debt-free versus commercial real estate investing. Point number 1 is debt can be an amazing asset to building wealth. It can be, as I just showed you on the previous example. And debt-free investing, again, my opinion, could be economically irresponsible. And what I mean by that, if if you have money sitting around and you have the expertise or access to knowledge to leverage the 400,000 and create what I showed you in the video, and you don't do it, that could be a bit selfish, but also a bit economically irresponsible to you and your family. Just my opinion, okay? Number two, don't do short-term debt on real estate investing. Let's face it, the pandemic, coronavirus has crushed people and scared people with short-term debt. They may not be able to refinance out of their debt because their debt's coming due because their debt was 1 or 2 or 3 years. And I suggest instead you do 7-year, 10-year, 15-year, 30-year loans. For example, if you wanted to buy a sizable apartment building, 30-year fixed loans are available. It's probably the safest thing you can do these days, right? All right. And number three, you may want to pay off your loan, right? Your commercial real estate loan. I don't recommend it, but you may have to do that if your deal sucks, right? What's the solution to that, right? To having a deal that sucks. The solution is don't do deals that suck, right? That's the only solution, right? Number four, some of you may believe, or you heard people say, debt is risky during bad times. And it can be. It sure can. But from investing for 20 years, right? Here's what I come up with that works, and here's what we teach our students. Number one is to have cash reserves. That's just common sense. When you buy a property, make sure it's not your last dollar. Have cash reserves. Number two, don't leverage more than 90% long term. You may be able to get into a loan with 10% down, but make sure it's not for a long period of time, right? Because the market's going to ebb and flow. So make sure that it's make sure it's not 10-year loan or 15-year loan. Make sure it's shorter so that when times get bad, right, you can get out of it. All right. Thirdly is to be a good operator, right? Learn how to manage the property properly, keep track of expenses, do your accounting, and also if you have a property manager, learn how to hold that person accountable. Okay, learn how to manage the management company. All right, okay, got it. And the last part, this is for some of you that are stuck making decisions, right? Are you stuck making commercial real estate decisions? Some of you may be sitting on money now, and you have access to knowledge, or you may have the knowledge to leverage that money and create something big, but you're stuck making that decision for whatever reason, right? There's a lot of you out there. I have the perfect video for you. The video that we produced is called How to Make Decisions in Commercial Real Estate, and I do my best to cover all of the fears and unknowns that you may have. All right, so watch that video. The link will appear on the screen. All right, everyone, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Now you know my stance on being debt-free versus investing in commercial real estate. All right, so last thing I want to do is I want to offer you a free download of my latest book, Commercial Real Estate for Beginners. So link will appear. Go ahead and download it. No obligations whatsoever. Enjoy the read. All right, everyone. Thank you so much today, and I'll see you at the next video.